What's going on YouTube? It is Texans Takeover back in another video. In today's video, we have another Ultimate GM Simulator. This is the one where, it shows us our results for the season, although we know our results. We lost to the Patriots in the divisional. We cut and we restructure and resign guys, sign free agents, go to the draft, and then it has the computer that predicts how our next season may go and shows us our results. So, yeah, an interesting video here today. Done this multiple times, but I do like doing the new iterations of it, playing around with it, seeing what the Texans may do. And we will continue as we know our season ends there, and they have the Broncos with Jarrett Stidham beating the Patriots in the conference championship, and the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl ultimately. So a rematch of Super Bowl 50 or 48, something like that, or 49. Here, though, you're restructuring Daniil, you're restructuring Titus, Nico, Derek, and I think you can get away with these three guys, even though I know Dalton and Aziz are on contract years on top of Titus Howard. Joe Mixon's going to be a cut candidate for me, free up that $8 million in cap space. Just don't know what his health is really going to be headed into next year. Other than that, Mario Edwards is also a cut candidate for me. Jarrett Patterson as well. To be honest, I think that's someone you can look to bring back in free agency. Tremont Smith. Justin Watson can both go too. Other than that, I think Dylan Horton could be a guy that's interesting. You could free up that million, but I think you can keep him as a depth piece, especially if you're not able to bring back Derek Barnett or anything like that. I think Jawar Jordan and Johnny Carter could definitely be on the chopping block, as well as Elijah Huzzy. I'm just a big fan of Elijah Huzzy, so I'm keeping him. But I think that's the move I'm going to make. Restructure pretty much our top six guys, or top seven, top six. Um, you can get away with not restructuring these two and Titus just because you know that they're headed into contract years next year. But I think restructuring does help you out, although it does allocate a lot of money into next year. But then you could just restructure guys next year. Um, and that leaves us with 72 million headed into free agency, which is a very healthy sum of money. Um, and we head to the re-sign period where, um, yeah, who am I looking to re-sign here? Not many. Luke Lakey maybe, but that's going to be a practice squad option. Ed Ingram, I'm going to give. I think a good ballpark is around the 11 to 12 range. So give him 11 million, full guaranteed. Does he take that? No. I'll go up to 11.75, and then if he takes that, that's perfect. Um, just a little psychological boost rather than going to 12. That's rejected. All right, we'll go 12 over 3, 95% guaranteed, and that is accepted. Um, so a lot of money allocated towards Ed Ingram, but I think his performance definitely warranted that. And then I'm gonna try to bring back Jared Patterson just on a cheaper deal. If you can get him for $2 million over 3 years, fully guaranteed, I'm taking that over the $3 million cap hit that he did have, and that is accepted. Other than that, Derek Barnett can come back on around like a $5 million deal over, I'd say 2 years. 90% guaranteed. That's accepted. Perfect. Other than that, I'm really just looking at Townsend and EJ Speed to come back. EJ Speed, I think if you give him around what you gave him in the offseason, I think he'd definitely be inclined to accept that. And he is at $4.5 million, so that's perfect. And then Tommy Townsend, we'll go 275. I usually give him around 3 million, so 275 is about the same, fully guaranteed for a punt or two. He does end up accepting that. Anyone we want to transition tag? I don't really think so, unless maybe like a Sheldon Rankins. I don't think that's worth it though. That's 20 million on the bank right there. Yeah, I think we're just gonna leave it as is. I'm not gonna re-sign Trent Brown in this one. Sheldon Rankins is probably gonna be expensive. Try to get him for like 9 million over 2 years, fully guaranteed. If he takes that, he takes that, and I'm elated with that. But oh, he does. Okay, I'll take that all day of the week. 2 years, 18 million for Sheldon Rankins is definitely a valuable option there on the defensive line. So there's that, and we continue to free agency. Did anyone important get re-signed? I guess we'll see. Headed into free agency, I think first priority is going to be the running back room. Um, if you see a guy that you deem important as a running back, then that's likely someone the Texans are going to be looking to go after in free agency. And you're looking for a guy that can be an RB3, and you're looking for a guy that can be an RB1. You can definitely look for that RB3 in the draft. Jamal Williams is there. That's an intriguing option. Javonte Williams is who I was actually referring to. I just saw Jamal, and I always mix him up with Javonte. Keaton Mitchell could definitely be your RB3 if it's something you want to look to. Uh, Other than that, Melvin Gordon's still here. Nick Chubb could definitely be an RB3, but I think that the guy I'm going to go after is actually Travis Etienne. I don't know how much they're going to ask for running backs for agency. I'll just start off at $7 million. Over 3 years is fine. About 85% guaranteed. That is accepted. So Travis Etienne does come in as our new RB1, and then I'm just going to look to bring in an RB3, and that could be a Chris Rodriguez. Although he was a starter for the Commanders this year, so I don't know how much he's going to really look to downgrade in terms of his role for a team. Is Jerome Ford here? Jerome Ford could be an intriguing option, and he is. If I give him like $3 million a year, would he be accepting that? He does. Okay, I'll take that all day of the week. Jerome Ford, Travis Etienne, and Woody Marks are going to be our backs headed into next year. If there's any decent option at wide receiver, like an Alec Pierce, is so intriguing for this team. But I think you hold off on receiver and just try to get one in the draft. If you do want 6 guys at that position. Other than that, you're looking at tight end. You do have 3 guys on the roster there. They did fix the Brevin Jordan thing, so fair play to them on that. You could bring in David Njoku as a playmaker. That's probably one of my favorite options I've seen so far. Jake Tonjes to be a backup tight end to Dalton Schultz, I think, is definitely another solid option there too. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna look to tight end in the draft probably. I don't think I'm gonna go after one in free agency. At offensive tackle, it does have Titus Howard listed as a tackle, but I think you could bring in one for depth, and I think Alex Leatherwood looks great for depth. Uh, Kim Fleming's decent depth too. Charlie Heck has improved after leaving the Texans on the offensive line. Um, and yeah, I think Alex Leatherwood's not that bad of a pick up, in my opinion. And if you can get him for cheap, then that's exactly what I'm gonna look to do. Give him around $2.5 million a year over 2 years, nearly fully guaranteed, and that is accepted. So there we go. That's 4 tackles on the roster there. And I guess we'll experiment with Titus being out at offensive tackle, and is Jared Patterson technically a center? He is, but there is a guy that I saw wasn't re-signed, and that is down the board here, Mr. Tyler Linderbaum. If I can give you 13 million, or actually we'll go 12 and see if that's accepted first. Over 3, fully guaranteed. Are you taking that? No. What about 14? We'll go 14. 14 over 3, fully or 90% guaranteed. Are you taking that? Nope, you're not. Little unfortunate. What about 14 fully guaranteed? Are you taking that? No. I think I'll go 15. 15 and a half. Over 4, 90% guaranteed. That's accepted. That's perfect. That's really good money for Tyler Linderbaum there. And just like that, the offensive line seems rebuilt. Gonna look to draft guard in the draft. And then I guess you're looking at safety. I guess you're looking at safety in the draft. And D tackle. Maybe you can look for a D tackle here. Maybe you want to go bring in Aaron Donald, which I guess he's technically, like on a technicality, still an option. Um, I think David Onyemata could be a decent option, just as a depth piece. What about bringing in Foley Fatukasi again? On like $2 million a year over 2 years, like 70% guaranteed. Is he going to take that? No. I'll give him 2.5, 75% guaranteed. I think that's a fair. We need a run stuffer in there, and he's definitely good at that role. So why not? Why not give him 2.5 over 2, 75% guaranteed? That's rejected. Okay, interesting. What about 3? Or maybe it's just the guaranteed money that he's after. I'll give him 85% guaranteed. And I'll be willing to go up to 3 million. over 2 years, 85% guaranteed. That's rejected. Okay. Yeah, fully fund Cassie is definitely priced out for us. And let's see. I mean, Lucky Fotu was great when he was here. Maybe that's someone you want to bring back. I'll leave it for now. I think that's definitely something you can pick up later. But who's really an intrigue? I mean, I see Levi Owens Enrique there, and he's definitely an intriguing option in himself. But I don't know the price that will come with him. Maybe LG Collier. We'll try Ogunjobi or Owens Enrique. How much is Owens Enrique gonna cost though? Like, if I give him 5/3 fully guaranteed, is he even taking that? Oh, he is. Okay. Levi Owens Enrique is going to be our other D tackle. I think it's a great piece there to have. Corner is perfectly fine. It's the safety room that you're looking at now. And Andre Cisco is there. We'll give him pretty much our remaining money. 3 million fully guaranteed over 2 years. He accepts that. I think this is one of our best free agent hauls so far. We'll complete free agency there. Get ETN, Cisco, Owens Enrique, Leatherwood, Jerome Ford, Linderbaum, and that is it. But I mean, you get Tyler Linderbaum, you take that all day of the week. And we go to the mock draft simulator now, where did they fix our picks? We will see. Nope, they did not. All right. Well, we'll just start it. Whatever happens, happens. This is probably the most frustrating thing. 31 and 84. Yeah, I'll take that. Why not? And then I don't know what pick that is. It doesn't tell me. So I'm just gonna stick and pick here. And here at 31, I am going to bolster the D line room. I am going to go with Caleb Banks, just a huge dominant threat from the D tackle position, about 6'6", 340. And I think he could be a very important piece to this Texans team if he was to come in. And I've seen some mocks with Caleb Banks headed to the Texans, so maybe that's something um, to look out for. But other than that, uh, not really liking the options here. I think this could be a trade down. Who's got a pick in like the 70s? The Chiefs with 74 could be an intriguing option. That should be accepted, and it was. Finally got one through in this little simulator thing. And I'll reject that because it's the Colts. And I'm going to go with when's our next pick's at 84. I'm gonna go with Deontay Lawson, just a very athletic linebacker there, and I think could be an intriguing option. Um, Obviously, I'd love to go Jennings Dunker, but I think he'll be listed as a tight end, or not a tight end. Sorry, a offensive tackle in this. I was looking at Max Clare down there, and that's why I said tight end. But yeah, I think he'll be listed as a tackle rather than a guard in this, and I think that's pretty invaluable. So I'm not gonna go there. Jalen Kilgore is considered as a safety in this. But here at 84, I am just going to pull the trigger on Jadarian Price, one of my favorite RBs in this class. And then here at 90, I will just pull the trigger on Dominique Orange. And our next pick's at 129, and that is going to be, who's it going to be? I like Roman Hibby a lot. I think Keontae Scott could be an intriguing option to back up Jalen Petrie at that nickel position, but I'm going to go with Tyreek Sapp here at 129. Just get another edge piece there to provide some depth in case someone does get hurt along that defensive line. And here at 166, I'm going to pull the trigger on another edge piece, it looks like, with Mr. Derek Moore out of Michigan. And then I'm looking to go safety here or tight end. And the options are just not that great. Devontae Capehart could be an intriguing option. CJ Daniels is an intriguing option down the board. I might just pull the trigger on that because of how good he is. Albert Regis down here is a good option too. Cole Wisniewski down the board is a perfect option for us. We'll go with that. Then back up the board, we will look to get Dalen Everett to be a backup corner, maybe. I think that's a very solid pick. probably going to go a lot higher than drafted than what these are insinuating. CJ Daniels is still there. I've just pulled the trigger. Then with my last pick in the draft, let's see who is there. Malachi Fields is here. And he just guys they don't value at all that I really like. Jack Bellings here. Seth McGowan's all the way down the board. That's insane. And you know what? I'm just gonna pull the trigger on Seth McGowan just because I think it's a disservice if he wasn't gonna get drafted. Um, and we will simulate our season, see if we do make the playoffs or not, and um, simulate all remaining league games. Start out 1-0, start out 2-0, start out 3-0, start out 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 5-2, 5-3, 5-4, 5-5, 6-5, 7-5, 8-5, 9-5. So it looks like we're gonna make the playoffs or not. 10-7. Lands us at the 2 seed versus the Steelers, and we will simulate, and we lose in the wild card game. I don't think we've made it past the wild card game, and the Colts with the Super Bowl next year. Interesting. As is projected to go 10-7, let me know what y'all think about this video down in the comment section below. Definitely our best haul in free agency yet, with Linderbaum being available and getting ATN in free agency. But yeah, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Thank y'all so much for watching, as always, and it is Texans Takeover, and I'm out. Peace.